I think we are live. So, welcome to the YouTube live show. We try to do this before every game. So we're just following the tradition that we started from the last game. So today, we hand it over to Vivek first, and then you can start, Vivek, with your opening comments for the match that will start in about an hour's time, and you can give us the team news too.
Okay, amazing. So it's great to be back here doing our only second pre-match show. Hopefully, many more to come, right? So the team news, something unexpected is looks like Gunduzi has been left out of the squad entirely. Mesut Ozil makes the bench, no surprises there. Xhaka, right? I mean, total man of steel. One moment he stretched it off, and the next game he's right back in it. So it looks like we're going with the same formation that we played against City, or probably not. We don't have three midfielders, so it's a 4-2-3-1 maybe with Nketiah starting. I can never fully get on board with that when we have Lacazette on the bench. But yeah, interesting team news. On paper, good enough to beat Southampton. The rest we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
All right, Vinay, you want to talk more about the team news?
Yeah, I agree to what Vivek said. I can't get my head over Nketiah starting any game for us. Not doubting his ability, but these are must wins. So until and unless we win all these experiments, I think. Remember, we had the podcast a few weeks back where we discussed on whether these 8 or 9 games is more a trailer to the next season, or are we taking these very seriously? Um, I think it's very clear that we have so far not taken this as seriously as we need to. So the team selection, Xhaka, last game also we discussed this. He will hold the pulse of the game. If he has a good game, Arsenal has a good game. If he doesn't have a good game, rest assured we are not going to have it. So welcome back, Ranjit.
Yeah, we got somebody join, and then our technology just. Yeah, I think we are back to where we are. I think Elroy was trying to join, right? So, okay. Uh, yeah.
He's probably out of what 6 weeks or so, and it's a great news that he has. I mean, it's not a big injury. It's a great news. Hope he gets well soon. But how much of a factor it is with both in terms of communication with the centre backs and also his shot stopping. I mean, shot stopping ability. Do you think that's going to be a major factor?
I mean, it's
Leno is
testing time for Martinez. I guess has been one of those people who have already been I mean, critical of Martinez.
disturbance on Ankur's line. Internet giving in, I guess.
Yeah.
Anjan, I can answer that. I think you answered it for all of us. As long as he's not a showstopper and sticks to being a shot stopper, we are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually was quite impressed. I don't know about what the others think with how Martinez was when he came on, because for the longest time we always had a pretty poor second choice, right? He might be okay. I mean, he looks better than Almunia and Fabianski at least. So we'll have to see what he does against. Is Shane Long there against us today? Is he there in the squad? I know he's far from first pick anymore, but he's always touted to score against us.
Wait till it's 1-1 and then he comes on.
Hey, Elroy, you
Don't
can go.
forget Danny.
Yeah.
Don't forget Danny Ings, and the Arsenal account decided to tweet about it too. That Danny Ings has scored 4 goals against us in the last 2 or 3 appearances, and there are just two other teams who he has scored the same number of goals. I don't know why they tweeted it, but yeah, he's a threat. Somehow he's a threat.
Does
so
Charlie
Shane
Austin
Long-
still play for them?
No, there's no Charlie Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shane Long is on the bench, and Danny Ings, I think, has been in fine form, so he starts. Nathan Redmond and the usual suspects, James Ward-Prowse, all those guys.
Mm.
Is Bond
When
fans?
when was the last time we beat Southampton at St Mary's? Does anyone remember?
I guess the FA Cup was there, the 5-0 in 2017, the FA
Oh my.
Cup. But in the Premier League, good question.
I even remember them kicking us out of the cup. I remember Sanchez scored a free kick. I think it was a Carabao Cup, and they came back, scored twice, and we were knocked out. And that was at the Emirates.
And that was the
that
Emirates.
that was in 2014, I guess, 2014-15 season. Yeah, at the Emirates.
I think unanimous answer is we don't remember. So it's been that long.
Going by
Let-
the
let's-
trend,
we'll get
that
this
is,
out.
seems to be for almost every away team, right? Every team in their away ground.
One thing on the team news, Ward-Prowse is one example that I could have wished could be taken in context of a comparison when we compare it to, let's say, again, sorry, but I have to say, Gundozi. Ward-Prowse is probably at least someone who you can say has progressed. I have had a lot of interest in how he plays simply because of his quality of delivery in terms of set pieces and free kicks. That could be at least a realistic benchmark for Gundozi or the rest of our midfield youngsters, like say the Willocks, the Gundozis.
No, but he's been there forever. As far as I know, James Ward-Prowse, right? How? I mean, do you
but at least that's a realistic yardstick at least. Southampton usually is considered like the breeding ground for the big boys to come and take over.
Yeah, I think there was one more guy, right? I think he went to Ajax or something. Ajax, sorry. Who was that?
Dusan Tadic.
Yeah.
Tadic.
Yeah.
By the way, the last time we beat them was 2017, not too far back. A certain Alexis Sanchez and an Olivier Giroud scored 2-0.
The X factor is missing, Vivek. I've been telling this.
Alexis Sanchez.
Hate him as much as you want. He was our match winner.
What could have been?
By the way, what do you guys make of Gundozi not even in the sub?
Yeah.
Discipline, Arteta making a point.
Yeah, I think he's trying to teach him a lesson.
Where will he spend that 40,000 a week? He has to go out, right? So about time.
Yeah. Falling out between Ozil and Arteta, who enjoyed a good relationship. Ozil became a father for the first time early in the lockdown and consequently was a little behind other members of the squad in terms of mental and physical preparation. So there you go. He's ready to fit and he'll be fit and ready for the second half when he'll assist five goals.
Family channel, so I won't comment on that.
No, but I guess we had quite a lot of players. I read a piece by David Ornstein where he said even Martinelli that way, he was not ready when he came back. So that is why he was not involved in the first two games. But now sadly he's got that injury, which is also a problem for us. But yeah, the reason with him not being involved in the first two games was also because of not being ready. So I guess a lot of
There seems to be something there is always something. It's a back, it's a shoulder strain, it's a baby, it's a wedding.
Come on, man.
Vivek. He's human after all.
Shoulder pains shoulder pains are invisible, babies are not. So let us move.
No, I
So
think
let's
I think
what,
Ozil have on a serious note. I think Ozil. Let's be honest. Some of them are just made up.
Mhm.
We all know that. It's just
And
that we all like Ozil so
you can
much.
say what you can say he got unlucky also to some extent, right? Like if you see, he was quite good in the preseason this year, and then the moment the season was about to start, he robbery incident took place, and that kind of unsettled him for quite a long time. So he's been unlucky too. He's always talking about.
Yeah, I think other than being unlucky at times, like you mentioned, I think I mean there have been games where he has kind of failed to impose himself on, and I think that is enough reason for people to bring their bats out and call him out again, I guess. And I think it has happened quite a few times, more than expected, and and I think that is what we are seeing for the last few seasons.
Yeah.
So coming back to the back four. Fullbacks back.
I think Tierney is first pick. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Suarez, though. Does Cedric become first choice? Does Bellerin become first choice? Is it going to be as interchangeable as Zinchenko and Mendy at City, though they're not of the same quality per se? Yeah, that would be very interesting to see what happens at the right back.
I think these two are the first choice, Bellerin and Tierney.
Yeah.
Does anyone know Cedric is quick?
Yeah, I
Sorry.
think the as per the medical update, I think he was a couple of weeks away from full training.
Hmm.
From Jan, he's been away. I really wonder where he went.
Yeah. So, what was the case with David Luiz, or I mean, wasn't it a single game ban?
It's 2 games, no? Because it's the second red for the season, so it's 2 games.
Oh, okay, okay.
We,
Yeah.
we, we, we are yet to hear from Jomi on the team news.
I mean, I'm trying to fix some technical issues with the upload, so apologies. But the point is, I'm still not very convinced with the team news, right? So I'll be happy if we win today. I'm not going to make any weird call outs, right? So that's something that I'm not going to be doing this time. So I don't want to be doing that. I just hope that we win today, and we restart that rebuilding process once again.
I also wanted to give a disclaimer, by the way. If people think that I'm drinking something, it's just water. So don't worry.
The real stuff
Everyone
comes
knows.
later, right?
Yeah, the
Like,
real
No,
stuff probably.
I
Once,
think what
as Vivek said, Ozil assists in a
being
second
an
half cameo, then probably I
watching
may take something
Arsenal
else.
watching Arsenal can do things to you, so I think it's excused. Um, Look, I think I mean it's a generic thing that I wanted to talk about. A lot of times when we see, I mean, with all due respect, the bottom half teams, right? A lot of times we expect ourselves to thrash them, swat them aside and run over them and whatnot. But I mean, over the years, it's not just a few games. Over the years, that has been totally missing. We don't even feel have that feel anymore, where we could confidently say that this I think I'm confident of a win today. So I mean, does it boil down to only the mentality, or the the players themselves? What do you think?
No, no. So this is the thing, right? I mean, Brighton game we were supposed to be winning it. Now, by losing that game from how we started and making it a mess, what has happened is this game looks more difficult for us to win. Now, having said all of this, this is the Arsenal, so anything can happen. That unpredictability just continues.
Yeah.
Which just
Our ability
brings
to
us back to the point that we
no, no, go
no,
ahead, go
this
ahead.
brings us back to the point of last time itself. We were talking. So this is what we were saying last time itself, right? The fact is that every team comes to play against us now and they think that okay, Arsenal has some weakness, we can get to them. Like we don't take our chances in the first 10, 20 minutes and that's it. Then the key is to start straight away.
Again, correction to the question. The question was bottom teams or mid-level teams. I think last time I checked, we had 12th.
Okay.
11th, right? 11th,
11th.
Okay, 11th. Small solace. Uh, If somebody tells me we will win on the 90th minute by a deliberate handball which was not seen by VAR and win today, I'll take that.
Well, if you look at it at the
Honestly,
other side, we are
to break the
at the
ice,
top of
I
the
don't
table
see.
of the second half.
Mm. We are top of the
Okay.
second half.
So
What
at
and
top
all
of the
Arsenal fans
second half
come
of
up
the
with, my God.
season.
How the mighty have fallen, huh?
No, if
Exactly.
you guys remember, we had the Arsenal Twitter has been tweeting about the jersey we are going to wear. It's supposedly we're going to blue shirt, blue shorts, and blue socks. So yellow. My bad. Yellow shirt, yellow shorts, and yellow socks. I mean, last time we played against Southampton with the same colors. Ian Wright scored some goal, and also Arsenal has come down to Vastu, showing us throwback videos where we wore yellow
No,
combination and
no,
won.
no.
So
I'll
probably
tell you why. I will tell you why. Arsenal yellow, Southampton red, yellow and red. They are paying tribute to Karnataka. The way Arsenal Bangalore, they're paying tribute to Arsenal Bangalore for representing Karnataka. Thank you, Arsenal. I think a win would suffice rather than all that. So coming
This
back.
is a typical RCB fan talking that we will win every time. So this is typical RCB, not Arsenal fan.
Yeah, so coming back to the point, Vinay, I wanted your opinion on this. As a player, when I think we've all seen or read about things where when a certain Vieira or a certain Henry, when they stood in the tunnel, there would be this the opponents would feel intimidated just by standing next to them, right? So it's not that we have an Andre or a Vieira in our squad or on the in the starting lineup when we line up in the tunnel, but don't the players have it in themselves to think or have a feel like, yes, I can show that I am better than the opponent number today. uh, do they have it in them, like in our squad? Because if you, on paper at least, again, with all due respect to the teams that we play, given where we are in the table, when you see those players on the paper, you definitely can make out that yes, this player, what player we have is better than the opponent. So do the players think about it, or give it a thought?
No, that's what we hope for, right? That's what when we say attitude, um, attitude, leadership. These are words that are so often heard nowadays in the context of Arsenal that frankly it's becoming like one of those managerial talks in the analogy that we use in corporate world. The manager keeps rambling on goals, targets, etc., etc., in the end, nothing suffices. The same thing we keep telling that hopefully today the real Arsenal will come out. They realize who they are representing. I really don't get it. But in terms of your question, do we really have that sense that we are going to beat them? If they come out with that attitude and if they're going to showboat on that, then it's not going to happen. But if they come out with the attitude that we are going to beat them at any cost, then there is a possibility. Uh, if we are going to think that they are going to come, Southampton are going to roll over, that's not going to happen. That doesn't happen in any game. Forget Southampton, it can be in ISL also. So it is imperative that the fight should be from the time they get into the tunnel till they go back, till the whistle is blown, not go back, because the likes of Gundosi will take it to the other level by trying to hold people's strike. So not that. Once the whistle is blown, let them shake hands and go home, provided we win. Just to recollect, remember one of the complaints about Wenger's teams and Wenger himself was he's a very sore loser. He wouldn't shake hands, they would just walk off, or even just for the sake of, people would wish each other like a good game and just do that. I would love to have that again. You don't accept loss so easily. People just have hands on hips and at times just go and talk to the opposition players as if nothing happened. I hate Roy Keane, but a lot of times Roy Keane makes a lot of sense when he talks. When he says, how could you allow that goal? How could you defend like that? Or how could you just pretend that nothing happened after losing a game? I think it's all about that attitude.
Yeah, I think.
Gunduzi. You like Roy Keane? Why not Gunduzi?
Oh my lord!
No, that's one thing. One thing that happened last game was after Leno was stretchered off. I think Saka was sort of high-fiving or sort of clapping hand with Mope, and whereas on the other end we have Guendouzi who was choking him, right? So. I mean,
I think it's again the leader. If you look on the pitch, I think it's only Xhaka. Honestly, Xhaka coming back today, it's not coincidental that you will probably see mistakes will still be there from him as a player, but as a leader, he's probably the only one you can have a resemblance of being said like, okay, he is a leader on the pitch.
Funny yet, we have always been giving the yardstick to Xhaka a lot. On one end, we call him as a leader. On the other end, we abuse him a lot.
As a player, there is a mistake that's going to be there. You will see it today also.
I am Xhaka FC. I have been Xhaka FC. So I've been calling his leadership qualities from day one to probably all of you guys.
Also, Ospina FC, how much does that hold for?
Ospina, see, I mean, on this day, if you now Leno is injured, if you had an option between a Martinez or an Ospina, who would you have chosen? I mean, any day I would pick
Martinez.
I think I'll go Martinez.
Ospina, hands down.
If you want a goalkeeper who's going to waste 5 minutes on the floor, then you choose Ospina. That guy's on the floor practically every match. But coming back to this point, it also says a lot when Czech gave an interview last year, right? Where he said that when he compared the Arsenal dressing room after a defeat to what the Chelsea dressing room was after a defeat, he said that Chelsea dressing room felt like a funeral. Whereas the Arsenal dressing room after a defeat, there's nothing happening right there. So again and again, it boils down to the same point that if the culture change is needed at the club. It's not going to happen overnight, but I really hope we are working towards it.
Who said that?
Peter Cech.
Peter Cech, okay.
I think what we are looking for in this team are badasses.
So Cech meant the same with Arsenal also, that the attitude post the loss wasn't wasn't sad or wrong or weird, whatever you want to call it. Not only Mikel.
Also coming to Vinay's point, we need a balance between badass and quality, because if you just go for badass, then you get Lichtsteiner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Dick Steiner is someone. I mean, like for instance, whatever he was not good, but then again, if you see the fact that in the 4-2 derby itself, the way he stood up, like he came to fight the entire squad, and that kind of character is needed in the team, but yeah, with quality obviously. Someone, it's just
You
a
need
lacking in that.
characters in the pitch. On the pitch, you need to see someone. Like
Yeah,
say,
exactly,
until and unless you show
exactly.
that people until and unless you show that people will on you, right? When you see somebody else doing
Yeah,
it, when you see somebody else doing it, and you take it from there. It's not like this team doesn't have talent. It's not like this team doesn't have talent.
yeah,
Go away so quickly. The skill doesn't
yeah,
go away. You can't tell me tomorrow that you can't tell me tomorrow that Aubameyang just doesn't know how to score, or Lacazette doesn't know how to score, or Lacazette doesn't know how to finish. It's not. Else we could have simply said, else this is a very poor skill. This is not a skill team. This is not a skill. Here comes the corporate analogy: skill versus will. I'm sick and tired of hearing that, but very honestly, that's what I wonder about Arsenal. There is a will. It's not a skill issue.
and then
Yeah, I think with join Kirti.
Yeah, Kirti. Hi, Kirti.
So,
I think
yeah,
it's time for a haircut.
Don't want to risk it anytime soon.
True.
so we were talking about so we were talking about characters on the pitch and how it impacts on the others and the lack of leadership and whatnot. So one thing that I read about, I mean, recently, I think a lot of times we have been on the receiving end of how the referees give the decisions, right? We are, I mean, the fouls fouls on us are not given at all. So one of the things that I read was like we should take it into our own hands, commit a harsh foul, get a red card here or there, and then that would make the referees take a note or take point of us not going easy on the pitch. So do you think being harsh or being rash, if I could use that on the pitch, reflects on the referee and the decisions to go our way?
So is that for me?
Yeah, you can jump in.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I think it goes game by game as well, right? At least previously, before when we had crowds, the crowds would influence a lot of these decisions. Now we are at a point where there's no crowds at all. So even getting yellow cards and the red cards would basically the crowds booing him. There was enough stress on the referees to take the decisions. Right now, it's mainly at a point where it's left up to each and every referee, and I think based on the situation, they end up taking these decisions. I think we have been on the bad end with regards to receiving these red cards and cards as well. But as people say, over duration of the whole season, all these things will equal out. But I haven't seen that happening for this year for us. And I would just say that for this year, it's just 2020, and we just treat it as an earlier and then look forward for the next season. Again, trying to be optimistic there, but right now I'm just happy to see Arsenal play. Might not be playing at the top notch, but for me, it's just a way out for me to just watch Arsenal play. That's what I'm looking forward. Results will come for us. Even at this point, overthinking about the results might not be the right thing. As long as we have a good game, we play well. Rest of the things are goes out of the window for me.
Yeah, one thing that you mentioned about crowds influencing the decision or the referee, right? So I think the onus on referees to speak and sort of if justice can be served, because a lot of
See,
times it is totally against us, the decisions.
yeah, I think that's where I think something like what we do from a game pressing also matters, right? Even if one person goes and talks, it doesn't make an impact. As a team, if you go and at the point go to the referee and talk about it, then the referee is now stressed, or the other players are seeing it. Even in the previous match, right? Whatever happened with regards to Gondozi, it was just on Gondozi was sitting and fighting. Whether it was valid or not, a secondary. You have to work as a team wherever it is. You have one person walking off in another direction, not worrying about it, is what is I see as a now we are not cohesive as a group. You fight and you stand as a group, and even if it is for the wrong reasons at that point, in front of everyone else, you stand together. I think that if we do it, it will actually improve overall with regards to what we see, what we want from decisions perspective. But something these small things that matter, as you mentioned, the characters, right? There has to be one character which drives everyone to do it. Something that we have been lacking for a long time. But it's something that it's not easy to find. And I think Aubameyang himself being the calm, the person who would have a smile all the time, is not helping set the right tone there. But I don't think it's needed in all situations. But I would say that we need to have at least one person who's in charge of that, and Shaka might be the right person to do that.
Uh, Quick question, Anjan. I think the last game, I think the Lewis game, when he got red carded, I think the commentator said that Arsenal's disciplinary record this season is fairly poor. So
Yes.
I really don't think so that we are the ones who are wronged all the time. Let's be honest, among the all of us, if the same thing had happened with any other defender across any other team, would you not have said red card and a penalty for that David Luiz challenge? I think all of us would have. Uh, Realistically speaking, I think Kirti makes valid points that it's a team sport. Until and unless all 11 are in this together, be it hustling the referee. Remember the Chelsea team, the Mourinho teams, and even the ones subsequently after that. There was a lot of people saying like they literally intimidate referees. But I think one of the players, if not one of the ex-managers, said was all a part of the plan. And they said we need to win, and this is a part of the plan. You need that thuggery. If this is not a game for, I can't use the words, but this is not the game for kids anymore, right? You would need real men who have the cajonis, as you can say on a family channel, hopefully. Um, until and unless Arsenal develop that in all 11, can Mikel start working on that? Is there some sort of oil or something that he can start circulating in the training field? I really don't know. But very honestly, until and unless the 11 are in this together, going in the same direction, Arsenal will continue to have Aubameyang tying his shoelaces almost every time the opposition scores. Uh, You'll have rest of the guys going back to the halfway line as if nothing happened, and then you probably have one person out there in some corner trying to tell the team it's okay, we can get back. One against the rest 10. I mean, you know where that's going.
Okay, that's a very rosy picture painted there.
So
Oil may work. Oil may still work.
so just in the interest of everybody's time, right? We've got about 5 minutes more, 5-10 minutes more.
For a team
Uh,
news.
yeah. I mean, we've been talking everything in general. So last few minutes, I'll take